whatever Mo had done or whatever wasn't working. The part that is the most interesting is they say, now, do you consider yourself, or during this time on the show, there was a lot of speculation with you and the old Spogan Wade.
Hmm.
Consider yourself single? Do you consider yourself what was going on there? And she's very good at dodging the question. And she essentially says, I don't consider myself single. And I think it's a great answer because that could be meaning I'm still not divorced from Mauricio. But the reason I believe she had some sort of affair with Morgan, or they are still dating, is she can never just say we're not together. She can never. Now, I don't know. A lot of people would say that's just great PR because it keeps people tuning in, wanting more. Are they together? But to me, I think she all but confirms that something happened. They definitely had more than a friendship. That's my take. What's yours?
Really? Well, now, Sarah, you're going to making up rumors about me and my
I am.
gal pal Kyle. First of all, couple of things. There's a lot there you gotta unpack. You said a lot there, Sarah. I read the article. Does Kyle Richards listen to the Behind the Velvet Rope and the Sarah Fraser show? It's like welcome to Life Lessons 101, Kyle. I read the article. It's like, girl, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Yeah. She says, I don't care anymore. I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm going to do what I want. And it feels really good and it's freeing. There's, well, there's one thing I could think of in the world that's more freeing, but there's really nothing more freeing in life than not giving one fuck, not even half a fuck than what people think. So I sounds, and she says she's a much different person than she was 14 years ago. But she says even 2 seasons ago, I where did this come from? And she said, yes, Lorene, Mo was leaving her. She wasn't speaking to Kathy and Rinna. She said it just all fell apart, that I just really had no choice but to just deal with it. And we were raised very much like, don't, air your dirty laundry, because that's how
Yeah.
Hollywood works. And just, I had no choice but to deal with it all. And yeah, no, I mean, look, I've been saying that since I turned on the microphone 5 years ago when there was one person listening. Now there's millions. But when there was one person listening, don't give a fuck what anyone in life thinks. So I think
You got to go. I mean, I think there's a balance to that. Like you have to, there's some people in your life, I think, you do care. But for the most part, especially if you're going to put your art out there, your voice out there, you have to because how many podcasters, unfortunately, do you and I know?
all of
They
them,
spend so
all of
much
them.
time caring what other
They
people think.
can.
And it's like, no, don't you? And the more people say they won't listen, the more they listen. So
The
you
more
just
they
have to,
listen,
and it's the same with Kyle. The more, and I wish I'd learned this back in my radio days when I was on the Kane show in Hot 99.5, and they would say, well, we can be looking for another Sarah. And it's like, you can't, though. You really can't. Go try it. And they did. And they came and they went. And so it's just like you've got to be true to yourself, have your own moral code, and you cannot care what people think.
no. And two other things before we move on. So I thought that was really good. Listen,
What?
I've said this before and I will say it again. You look at like the animal that is Teresa Giudice. I mean, I just watched the first season of the first episode of The Villains, and like Joe McHale comes out and he's like, hey assholes, or hey villains, and Teresa is just like, you're on a TV show, you're paid this money. I'm just assuming it's $250,000 to be there. You win $200,000 if you win. When he announced the money, she smiled. It's like before that, everyone's joshing with Joel McHale in New York and this and that. And Teresa is just standing there. It's like, girl, like you're hired to film a TV show. You gotta participate. You're not just being, but she's just sitting there. She's like, I'm not an asshole. And like she's standing there with like a chip on her shoulder. And like this animal has got the whole damn fucking franchise paused. I mean, we have other people that, like, look, I love Lisa Rinna. She's my number one housewife ever. But, she took it too far. And unfortunately, they parted ways with her. Nobody, and I don't care. I will argue this. I was on Carlos's show, Carlos King, and we literally were like, yeah, we agreed. Like, nobody, to me, Kyle is the number one housewife that has ever existed in the history of Housewives that knows how to do this job better than anyone else. I will stand by that. 13 seasons, going into 14 seasons. Yeah, she gives, but not too much. She doesn't go fucking crazy. And yes, I think part of that is having money and being in Beverly Hills. And they do seem to have a life outside the show more than others, but she does it so well. Yeah. I mean, I don't care if you hate Kyle or love her. She knows how to do this job better than anybody else involved. It
Okay, but
really.
do you think that she and Morgan Wade were
Oh,
together?
was that the question? And wait, before I answer that question, two things about her not caring, what people think anymore. Well, I got some. Listen, you call me. You think I do the life coaching on the weekends and just sit here with my thumb up my asshole? I got quotes for every occasion. So let me read two quotes to you here. First of all, A, my job in life is not to make you like me. That's not my job. My job is not to make you or anyone listening to this podcast like me. My job is to be my authentic self. Now, if being my authentic self, you actually are drawn to me and what I'm saying, great. I'm thrilled. I appreciate my listeners. But my job is not here to make you like me. And second quote of the day, Sarah, repeat after me, Sarah Fraser. Repeat.
Okay.
I'm allowed to do what's best for me, even if it upsets people. I want the people in the back to repeat this. I'm
I'm
allowed to
allowed
do
to do
what's
what's
best
best
for
for
me,
me
even if it
if it
upsets
upsets
people.
people.
Thank you. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Are you in therapy?
No, this is why I'm not in therapy. I don't need it. I went to therapy, got what I needed, and said, peace the fuck out. Um, by the way, don't know. I think it's just at this point, she just knows what she's doing.
Okay, give it to us straight. What do you
That's
think? Is
I
this
I don't know. I don't think we're ever gonna get an answer. I can't believe that we're still not
they're
like
together?
you
They were
think?
together. Yes, they were doing lickety splits. Yes, 100%.
And no more lickety splits. We're over
No,
it
I
now.
think
Every now and then a lickety split.
every
I mean, a little
yes,
now, we
that a
get
little.
drunk, girl. We go, you have a few
Well,
drinks,
when
lots
you
of
have a
things
few
happen.
drinks and you turn off the
Yeah.
lights, I mean, does it really matter? I
No,
mean,
it does not.
there you go.
Girl,
Um,
I'll get a few drinks in you. Nothing matters no more.
some women are just so hot. And I mean, I think every once in a while you find a woman you think is attractive. Brandy Glanville, right? I mean, I think if you were drunk enough in the dark,
It's so funny. I was on a
hang out
podcast
with
that's,
Brandy Glanville.
well, believe it or not, I mean, I was on a sex podcast yesterday. It's not coming out till November. It's a long story with a mutual friend in common. They were like, please do this girl's podcast. She's like an up and comer. Do. So I did literally a sex podcast. I was like, I don't give a fuck. She's like, she was nervous before at this. And I'm like, literally ask me whatever you want. Like, I truly don't care. She asked me the same question from Bravo. And I said, without overthinking it, oh no, from like popular. I said reality TV. I said Lala Kent or Kendall Jenner would be my type. But
Oh, Jenner.
Lala,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Lala.
Lala's the one you are attracted to. Yeah, yeah, I love
Yeah,
that. There are
that's
so many. There's so many beautiful women, and I can. I mean, please, men are
I
my
mean,
beast.
like
So
you look at James's Alley, like she's gorgeous. Like there's very attractive women on Bravo. But I think if I was gonna, shut off the lights and take a little spin around the bedroom, I'm thinking Lala all day, every
I need to
day,
see you as a straight man.
24/7. Oh, Lala and I would have a great old time, darling. A great old time.
Look, I think she and Morgan are 100% had been together or are together. And I think in Kyle's world, I don't know, that's a big thing to fully come out. And I'm not sure I mean, it's not anymore, I think, for younger people, but I think for Kyle and the way, being in the society she's in and everything, I think it's like a different ball game. So I just don't think that she's ready to say that. And I'm not sure she ever will be. And I think Morgan, I think they like keeping their life private. You can go to Chateau Marmont.
Well, darling, this is also a dichotomy of all these statements of I don't care what people think and it feels really good and it's freeing.
Oh, well, there's always lines.
Oh, there's always
Because
lines.
if it
Okay.
was I don't know. You think it's for publicity. You think she's genius at playing the game. I think that if this were absolutely not true, she would shut it down.
Shut it down. Okay, so you think some lickety splits. All right, well, I'm all about Kyle and the lickety splits. Maybe RHOBH, a season 25. You know what really well, where do you want to go
I mean,
next?
I like there's so many topics I want to do kind of rapid. Well, I want to talk real quick. Is Dubai canceled or not canceled? I mean,
Well, newbie telling Marie, because I mean, she's been there for 3.5 minutes, as not true. Look, I mean, we're gonna talk ratings in a minute of Salt Lake and the P and some other things. Like it's kind of like